Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Candace, and as you can tell from the title, I'm here to talk about my journey of freezing my eggs. Start with the why. Why do I want to freeze my eggs? I am 33. I'm pretty much single, and I'm pretty sure I want to have kids, but when is that going to happen? I don't know. There are several things that I want to happen before I have kids. One of them being I want to move. I live in the Midwest. I don't want to live here, and I don't want to have kids here. So that's one of the reasons. Obviously financial, that's another part of it. And then I think I just have a little bit more left to live and some things I want to do before I take that next step. I'm not really sure when I'll have kids. I want to give myself more options in the future when I do decide that I'm ready to have them. So, just a brief, quick explanation on what this is. I currently am taking hormones to help my ovaries produce more than one follicle. Usually, your ovaries kind of produces a few follicles, but one of them matures and that becomes the egg that you release every month. But I'm taking hormones so that all the follicles will kind of mature and hopefully become eggs. The timeline that I've done this. Okay. So I had to write it down because I tried to film this before and I was getting stuff mixed up. Okay, so March is when I reached out to my insurance company and I was able to get some names of some doctors and fertility clinics were in the area that I live. I wanted to understand the benefits and how the payment would go because it costs a lot. And then I kind of just looked at the different clinics in my area, found some reviews and things like that, and then I picked one to go with. So that all was in March. In April is when I had my initial consultation with the clinic. I had to fill out some paperwork and things. I had an ultrasound to look at my ovaries, and then you have to take a blood test. So the thing with that is I've been on birth control for the last 7 years. And so they wanted me off the birth control for at least a month before I got the blood test. So went ahead and once May came, did the blood test. And for the blood test, they're measuring your AMH. I'll put the name of what that is on the screen. And that kind of gives you an idea of your ovarian reserve. So my AMH was 1.2, which is on the lower end of the normal range for my age group. I will say through my research, and I'm not saying this is for sure or not, because I was on birth control for so long, it could take more than a month for my ovaries to kind of just, wake back up. And so I believe that if I had taken the test after being off birth control for a few months, it would be a little bit higher. But 1.2 still good, still rolling with it. So then I had after the blood test, I had a follow-up appointment with the doctor, and they're like, yeah, we can go ahead and go. So I thought I was going to do it in June. Didn't happen because it was so close when I had that appointment to when I would need to start. So that didn't happen. Thought I was going to start in early July, but because of miscommunications between the fertility clinic and I don't know, their departments, that didn't happen either. So now in August, well, technically it was July, but I started a cycle last Friday. So let's go through what I've done so far. In order to get ready for the cycle, you have to do at least with my clinic, obviously you fill out a bunch of paperwork and things. I made a nice hefty payment, and I have educational videos that I had to watch. So once all that was completed, they went ahead and reached out to my pharmacy, which is CVS. I picked up some medicine from the actual CVS by my house, and then other medicines came from the specialty pharmacy. Those are my actual injections that I do. So all that got set up, and I actually received my specialty medicines on July 28th, which was literally amazing because my period started on July 29th. So when that happens, you call the fertility clinic, let them know, hey, my period started, and then they will schedule you for a baseline appointment, which is usually somewhere between like 1 and 3 days of your period starting. So I actually went the next day on Thursday, and we did another ultrasound. These ultrasounds are transvaginal, which means they stick the probe up your vagina so that they can get a clear picture. And then I did blood work that day as well. So I had 4.5 days worth of shots, and then I went in this morning, had more blood work and another ultrasound. So now I go back every 2 or 3 days in between appointments, and I'll have this until we decide when we're going to do the trigger shot. So at my first appointment, they said somewhere probably between the 10th and the 12th. But I think on Thursday I'll have a better idea of when the actual retrieval is going to be. As far as like today's appointment, what do we say? I actually didn't have any updates or changes. All my medicine is staying the same, but they do, like, when they're doing the ultrasound, they're taking pictures of your ovaries, obviously, and then they're measuring each of the follicles. So the thing with the follicles is that's kind of how they try to determine where the eggs are in their maturity, because you can't see the eggs on the ultrasound because they're so small. So I had 13 total follicles. I had 3 on the left ovary and 10 on the right, and they range in sizes from like 3.9 to, I want to say the biggest was like a 15 or so. And for them to do like the retrieval, you want most of your like cohort to be around the same size. So that would be the ideal size. This is just for my research, is somewhere between 16 and 22 millimeters, or maybe 18 and 22 millimeters. I can't remember. But you will want most of your follicles, to be around that size, and then go ahead and do the retrieval. You have to kind of like try to time it good so that most of your eggs reach the optimal size at the same time. Eggs that are too small obviously probably aren't going to be mature, and then eggs that are too big can be overly mature, which means they won't be any good either. So you want most of your cohort to be kind of like on the same wavelength, hopefully, to have the best chance of getting as many eggs as possible. I don't really have like too many, I guess, symptoms. I will say by like 2 o'clock, I'm ready to go to bed. Even now, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm so sleepy and tired. And I do feel like I have like a little bit less of an appetite, and I kind of sometimes feel like I have a headache, but that could just be like lack of eating because I don't really have an appetite. So we'll see. And I don't really have like too many like I definitely am bloated a little bit, that's for sure. And then I also have like some bruising on my stomach from giving myself the injections. You can also do them in your thigh, but for whatever reason, I'm like very scared and I don't want to do that. So we're just doing them like around the belly button area because like that's all I really want to do. It's not hard to do the medicines or anything. After like the second day, I had all the steps down. And since the medicine or my protocol didn't change for the medicines, like I don't really need the instructions anymore. But I'll insert the first clip of me giving myself the medicines, and I definitely like need it to have the videos up while I was doing it. So yeah, I think that's it for now. I'll either post the clips before or after I'm done talking. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully if I come back on Thursday with another video, it'll probably be short if there's actually like an update or something. So we'll see about that. And then I will record like when I give myself the trigger shot, and then like probably post retrieval. And then I'm going to do a separate video on like the finances for this, because it's actually like a little crazy that people pay for this out of pocket. I'm glad that my employers offer a benefit for this, because without it, it wouldn't be happening. Let me tell you. Well, that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment down below and I'll try to answer in the comments, or if I feel like it's lengthy enough, I'll put it in my next video. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye. It's hot, so I'm going to try to make this quick because I want to go inside. My AC's not on in the house either, but like, still, it's hot.